So easily the juiciest story of the NFL season so far is head coach Robert Saleh just getting fired. This happened at 7 a.m. today, Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, Jets getting off to a 2-3 start, looking pretty bad the last few weeks. Definitely offensively have just been really atrocious. They just came off the London game, or at least defensively, they held their own okay, but the offense again, not looking great. They lost. And today on Wednesday, 7 a.m., Robert Saleh just got fired. Breaking news all over Sports Center, ESPN, Fox Sports, all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, pretty juicy story given the kind of expectations that the Jets did have. Obviously having Aaron Rodgers, this being his first full season back healthy after last year coming from Green Bay and after tearing his Achilles in the first season with the Jets. But yeah, the team just wasn't living up to expectations, so they decided to fire him. Owner put out a statement, the usual BS, thanking him from service, blah, blah, blah. We have expectations. We want to move in a different direction. But I think when you do firings like this, it should be for a reason where you think your team's really going to improve. And hey, maybe they know something, obviously, that I don't. It's not like I'm in the Jets facility or anything. But the thing with Robert Saleh is that, he's a defensive guy when it comes to, his side of the ball, defensive coordinator. And the Jets defense has been the only thing saving them from just pure embarrassment this season. The defense really held its own against Minnesota like this past week, and Minnesota's been the best offense in the NFL. They really shut them down. 23 points. It's really 16 points because it was Aaron Rodgers that threw a pick six. And yeah, it's kind of a firing towards all like, I'm not saying that he was doing a great job, but I think it was like, in terms of what their problem is, I don't think he's like the real problem right now. I think more than likely he got bounced just because, the vibes for the team are just it's just bad right now. Given the expectations that they had, obviously his relationship with Aaron Rodgers doesn't appear to be great. Depending no matter what they say in the media and things like that. Obviously, everyone saw the shove on Thursday Night Football a few weeks ago. And yeah, that's probably a big reason that played into that. Maybe they just feel like maybe we just need a different voice, something to spark some energy. They got their interim coach who's going to be the defensive coordinator coming in and going to take over the team now. But given how everyone likely this is because they fired him because they're not meeting expectations. But a big reason that the team probably isn't living up to the Super Bowl expectations that they have, and it's really Super Bowl for bust when you have a 40-year-old quarterback. But the reason they've been bad is because of that 40-year-old quarterback. Aaron Rodgers has just looked terrible this season so far. He's had one good game. That was the Thursday night game against the Patriots, who are probably the worst team in the NFL, given how we've seen them play aside from week one. But yeah, just the yards he's throwing, his movement looks old. He's throwing interceptions, at least in the last game we just saw where he had 3 interceptions, including a pick six. He just doesn't look like he can get it done right now. And you hear the term washed a lot, but when you're 40 years old and especially coming back from the Achilles, he just doesn't look like an A-level quarterback. And this is coming off him not looking great his final season in Green Bay. So, maybe the Achilles is still playing into that. I wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, the team isn't going to be great if he just didn't play better. They brought him there to be the savior, and his play is the big reason why the team's been disappointing. Certainly, I would have that as the number one reason, not Robert Saleh. And like I said, I certainly don't think he's a great coach from everything I've seen. I think when you're a head coach, regardless if you're a offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, got to manage the whole team. And offensively, despite some poor quarterback play, obviously the past few years, the offense just has not looked great, and he's got to take accountability for that. So yeah, and I think eventually, look, at the team continued to not be great, regardless if the defense was looking great or not. If the team just wasn't gonna start winning more, yeah, he was gonna get fired during the season anyway, just given sort of the dysfunction around the Jets. And I actually, if they would have lost this past coming up for Monday Night Football when they play the Bills, another team that's getting a little bit desperate after looking shaky recently, I think I could have potentially seen them getting fired after that one because I think that Monday Night Football game between the Jets and the Bills in a few days and this upcoming Monday was going to be some pretty big spectacle, given that both teams really, really needed the win. And obviously, it's sort of a rematch of the whole Monday night thing last year where Aaron Rodgers got injured. So that would have been some fun spectacle. Now it's going to be the spectacle for a different reason, additional reason. Obviously, both teams need the win, but we're going to see, if it's this new era with the Jets in terms of after Firing Robert Saleh, does that bring about a new change in the team, new disposition? The defensive coordinator, I think his name is Jeff Goldblum, Gold something, whatever. I mean, we'll see what it does. But then again, I mean, the thing is, like I said, the reason the defense was playing so well, I think a big part was Robert Saleh, and now is that defensive coordinator, is he going to be able to have the same attention to the actual defense? So maybe the best part of the team is going to be the worst part right now. But regardless, with everything, nothing with this team, no matter how many firings you do, how many coaches you go through, anything like that, it's not going to be better until Aaron Rodgers starts to play better. And if they really need to go all out when it comes to sort of making the most out of the season, probably going to have to trade for Devontae Adams or something. He had the Jets on his list as one of his teams he wants to get traded from the Raiders in terms of the Jets or the Saints. So that would definitely help them out a lot. But I think it's what's needed because Aaron Rodgers, if he doesn't play better, team just is not going to get things done, not get anything notable done because it's really Super Bowl or bust. But they at least got to make the playoffs. Otherwise, this season would be a big disappointment. But bottom line, Robert Saleh is officially out of the job. Not sure it's completely justified just yet, but you know what? Shit happens in the NFL. So RIP Robert Saleh, 3 years with the Jets. I think it was 3 years, 3 or 4 years, and whatever. We'll see if the team ends up doing any better going forward.